Cool.
Men. Our group of shirtless Lobo fans were calling for Eck to take off his shirt. And they asked him about it in the press conference, and Eck said, if we win against San Diego State at home, that might get me to take my shirt off. That's what he said in the video. So I'm gonna post it. I'm gonna tag you in it. Oh, we're recording though, right?
Yeah, we're recording now, so
Ooh, yeah, go ahead. I'm gonna get this posted, but just ask me any questions.
oh, it that was that was fun because I'm gonna give a little background here. Um, I didn't even think I wasn't even I was late to the game, so I was at work and I was watching a game on my phone, and I was able to get home, change, get to this, walk to the stadium, and I was just like, I get in and I'm looking around. I'm like, okay, we're like trying to find somewhere to sit, and I was like, I have a really funny idea, and I see that little space. I'm like, you know what? What the hell? I'm just gonna go up there. I'm gonna see what happens if I was standing up there by myself. Start waving my shirt around. I'm like, yeah, let's go. And then like one guy comes up there, then like another little group, and then another little group, and then it just got like that was one of the funnest moments of my life right there. That was so cool. Like I was just like, what the hell just happened, man? Like I didn't expect any of that. Like I was like I'd seen like Oklahoma State do something similar, but they were losing. I was like, we just need to get the crowd involved. And I
We
was like,
gotta we got to make this the soundbite because see, I need to be interviewing you because you were the one who started that whole thing. And it just grew and grew and grew, man. But no, Coach Jack talked about it. Said there's a great crowd. And yeah, sure it's coming off if they win against San Diego State. So,
we
you
got
know,
we got to win. We got to be there. I already have the day I already have my the day taken off of work, so I'm like, yeah, I'm going. We got to be there. We got to be like, this is awesome, man. It was just
oh man. No, that was great. Yeah. Did you can you talk about like in the span, what would you say in the span that it really started like was like this 5 minutes where it really started growing? Was it like 30 minutes? Was it pretty quick? And I know there's like hoorahs when somebody new joined or was slowly taking off their shirt.
I think so. As like because they threw me on the jumbotron there just by myself. I'm just like standing up there all goofy, and then
Uh,
as like the people notice, oh, there's more people up there. They started to come up there, and then we went down into the student section, and it was like, oh my gosh, this is electric because they're like, oh yeah, that's just like my like it's just boys being boys, and that's what makes sports great, right? It's like
yeah.
it's what makes like it's that like the enjoyment of just like kind of letting loose, right? It's like being able to be like have your emotions be free, and it doesn't matter because it's a game, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And I think it's just one of the like I said, it's just awesome. I just had
Well,
so
no. And I took pictures. I mean, the pictures are amazing because it's like a son, a father and a son doing it together. In one case, there was a dad that was there and the daughter, of course, her shirt was still on. But I took a picture of both of them and you can tell they were just having a blast because she was having fun kind of watching her dad be goofy and have his shirt off. So it was a great thing. And I love the let's move to the student section. They all did.
and like that was like that wasn't even like I think that was just some of the guys down lower. They were like, oh yeah, let's just go, and everybody's like, cool, let's go. And like also I want to like emphasize too that we were like we made sure we were like we're not gonna like we told like all the guys in the front row were like we're not storming the field. We told like we were even like telling the cops we're like yeah we're chill like we're good like we're just like having fun. And I think especially afterwards as like after the game ended and we were like I was sitting there talking to him and I'm like yeah like we appreciate you guys for like for what you guys do. And they were like you could tell they were like so relieved that we weren't just like being like awful, right? We weren't like we were just like we were doing our best to just be like very respectful, but like also having a lot of fun at the same time. And
Yeah, yeah, no, that was great though. No, I was wondering because when I was asking people when I was down on the field, I saw it grow more and more and more, and I saw people throughout the stadium like slow, like taking off their shirts, and I thought it was just like Now that you kind of gave me that backstory, I'm figuring that these people were watching you on the Jumbotron and were getting inspired to take off their shirt as well. But I saw like various people throughout the stadium without their shirt, and I thought that it was just like, I don't know, like I just thought that it was something. And then people were like, "Oh yeah, it's a Oklahoma State thing that they do," and I was like, "Oh yeah, maybe they're doing that." I'm telling you what though, I don't know, like I know that UNM football, like, of course, they've been around for a while, right? Not that many cool traditions, especially in the stadium, like the loyal fan base and stuff like that. I don't know. I think it sounds pretty cool. Like if a certain quarter starts, everybody takes their shirt off
Just goes
just
tarps
for
off.
and then starts waving it around. That might be a cool tradition. I'm just
Like,
saying, if anybody wants to make that a household thing, you know. So
I mean, it's not even my idea. Like, I literally just like, I literally like ripped that off.
hey,
See, so I was like,
you know what? You know what? Mr. Brightside is was not like, I'm pretty sure it wasn't planned to be a Michigan tradition, how celebrated it is now,
right.
but it would be, I'm just saying it kind of like, it's kind of a vibe if just it's the start of the second quarter and then everybody starts taking off their shirts and
Tarps
flying
off.
around just for like that period. I don't know. That might be a sweet tradition. So well done. No, I mean, it was noticeable. It was,
It
I got some good pictures and hopefully I can post those. I got one of you.
Yeah,
I
please
got one of
send
you
it to
as
me
well.
also because that will probably be my profile picture for the rest of my life because that was
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. I'll
Like,
make sure I send it that I have.
oh, and even because like I want to talk about the game too because
Yeah.
there was a lot like the offense did not play nearly to their standard. There were a lot of miscues, a lot of fumbles. I think there was what I did like was I like Jack Lane when he runs.
Yeah.
I like seeing him scramble. I like that like it was almost like reminiscent of Peyton Manning when it's like the entire line went this way and he just runs into the end zone. And I'm like,
Yeah.
that was like that also was like awesome. I think the defense just played absolutely insane. I can't remember his name, but the two interceptions, like
Austin Brawley.
Austin Brawley, because that was really this is a funny moment. Adding a little bit of lore here to the shirtless mob. Um, what what I was like yelling at the guys, I was like trying like getting
Yeah.
them hyped. I was like, the defense needs us right now. They
Yeah.
need a turnover. Let's manifest this turnover right now. And lo and behold, pick. We're like, let's go. And like, everybody goes crazy. And then I'm like, all right. And then like CSU gets the ball back again. And then we're like, we got to manifest another turnover. Pick again on the next drive. We're like, let's go. Like
Yeah.
it was cinema.
No,
Absolutely.
well, did you know about, were you familiar with like Austin Brawley beforehand or?
I was not actually.
Oh, yeah. So, Austin Brawley transferred over from Ohio University this past season. He was penciled in. I mean, he was going to be the starter coming out. He was voted as one of the captains by his teammates, which is a huge honor, but he was going to be like one of the guys on the team. And he plays a game, gets injured, misses 8 games. And there was even kind of like a little bit of discussion about maybe like preserving the red shirt or something like that. But he ends up getting healthy enough to play. He's itching to come back in. It's like I see this guy in the facility all the time. By the way, Austin Brawley, awesome guy. Like there is a park next to his house, and there's some sort of like youth leagues that go on, and he goes over there and like hangs out with the kids and stuff like that, and talks to them all the time. But I know that it was he was itching to get back on the field, and if you watch just a little bit of fall camp, a little bit of spring camp, you can see that like pound for pound, this guy like look at him. He's not 6'5", he's not 240 pounds pound for pound, this guy's an animal. He's easily the fastest guy on the team, and he gets that honor from just you ask anybody, and they'll probably say Austin Brawley is the fastest on the team. He's got a nose for the ball. He's not afraid to hit because usually when you get a guy that's undersized, you're kind of worried about them being a liability in the run game. He is not a liability in the run game. That guy is a sure tackler. And, 2 interceptions is already leading the Lobos in interceptions, and he's played a, a couple games. No, he's been injured for most of the season. So it's kind of like the what if we had Austin Brawley, because he talked about, is a couple of the interceptions in the post game conference. and he talked about one of just kind of like he knew that it was like see ball, get ball type of thing. And the Lobos defense has been fantastic all season, but kind of having that instinct, that ability to be a ball hawk, they were kind of missing that. And it's like, well, maybe if he had Austin Brawley the whole season, maybe he's leading the country in interceptions. I don't know.
Yeah, like
But I mean, how happy are the Lobos to have him now in the stretch where it's like most crucial, where in a couple of wins, could mean the difference between them playing in the Mountain West title game or not. So they got Brawley in there, and yeah, two interceptions, even almost returned one to the house. So
yeah, that would he was like I was watching the press conference and I was like, and he was like, yeah, I just pulled up because I was tired. I was like,
yeah,
I mean, like, he's doing a lot. And like, that was pretty awesome though, too. It's like, it's awesome. I know I'm sound like a broken record, but it's so awesome to have a good football team because there's
yeah,
insane vibes. I went to the basketball game. Also, just like I went to the pit is always has great vibes. Even when we're playing
yeah,
Houston Riverside, um, that game got a little close and a little weird and a little ugly, right? But
yeah,
always, I think, as New Mexicans, as people, we make great sports fans. We just need something to cheer for, and
yeah,
that is what has been brought out by Jason Eck, by this entire program. Really, is we're like, oh, we can be hype about this. We want to go to the football games. We want to go, we want to pack out the pit, right? And
yeah.
I also who's the AD? I can't I'm terrible with this is why I'm going
Frank
to be
Lobo,
the yeah,
Lobo,
yeah.
yeah, yeah,
I'm gonna be a terrible reporter because I can't remember anybody's name. Um but he is like I think what he did with Louis Lane with the way that like just like oh yeah we just need to like making it cheaper for families to come watch. I think that's awesome because I think that
yeah,
was cool too as like the kids getting to watch and getting to like experience that entire atmosphere.
yeah.
It's super. It's priceless. It's like you
Well,
can't.
and I just want to say too, if the Lobos are losing, if they're losing, and then you do the shirtless thing, even if you have guys, they're probably not going to want to do it because they're like, hey, we lost. Like, why would we be doing that? But you win. I'm just saying, like the stadium, the fans need kind of like, some cool traditions that we can call our own, call University Stadium. I'm just saying, I think you should bring back the shirtless thing again, San Diego State, because imagine if Coach Eck like all goes well, beats San Diego State, and Coach Eck takes off his shirt, that would have happened because of you, and you would have started that tradition. So what I say to you, my friend, is keep it going. Keep it going at the home games, because a lot of people loved it. It was so much fun seeing it. I was just like, oh, this is cool. Because I would say that, um, and sorry, no, it's just a matter of like I gotta post this video up.
No, you're
That
dude. You're
yeah,
I understand. There's a lot. Being a social media content creator is incredibly hard, and it's like there's a lot more work than people realize, like editing and all that other
yeah,
stuff. It can kind of be a chore at times, but you're good, dude. Like I get it, but like what I didn't even cross my mind. I was kind of just doing it for fun as kind of like a kind of a joke. I was like, oh, you know what? Because I did it at the game I went to against Nevada.
yeah,
I was sitting in the front and I was like yeah like because I had like a I think I had a um like a wife beater tank top on
uh-huh,
like as my undershirt and I was like I just like I like ripped it off like Superman. I was like and then I was like, oh yeah, you know what? Like it wasn't, and it was like I've seen that with like the Bills and like people like like it's not like foreign to do that and to like take off your shirt at a football game, right?
yeah,
But I think it's never happened here, right? We ever had like that like crazy fans, and we could be crazy. We have a reputation quote unquote for being like assholes. It's like oh like New Mexico they're so mean and like it's like no we're just loud. And we're just and like and you have we and when we win, we're kind of like, yeah, but for the most part, from what I've seen, from my experience, we're good fans. Like, and we're also like we'll curse you out, and then we'll be like, when the day is done, we're very respectful afterwards.
No, and I think I mean the game, right? Yeah, we all know the offense struggled. The defense played phenomenally. The fans, I think this was a big day for the fans because I think this was the day where you really felt that energy from the Howl Raisers, from the shirtless group that you formed up there. That I, in my, we're just a bunch of dads. It was really beautiful to see like just a bunch of dads go with the
That's
student section over there.
that's great.
But no, I thought it was a great because I was taking some pictures of the Howl Raisers, and they made me laugh because it got quiet there for a second because somebody called a timeout. There was like an awkward silence, and then somebody was like, "Hey, number 6 on CSU. Now that it's quiet, fuck you." But they were letting the bench have it, and of course, the CSU players are not gonna acknowledge that. But I
Right.
was walking by, and I can see their faces like that. They were kind of laughing at some of the stuff that was going on. They're like, "Wow, it's kind of loud over here." And you did see the CSU coaches use some timeouts from some crowd noise. And
Love that.
this is just my opinion, but against NMSU, it was a sold out crowd. Um, I still feel like the fans aren't used to being a sold out crowd in a football game because when the Lobos offense was like in crunch position, crunch time, they were making a lot of noise. And some of the players were like, quiet down, quiet down. Like you can
That's right.
tell they're just not used to it. At Boise State, when I was there, it was easy. Like when the defense was on the field, they made as much noise as they could. When the offense came on the field, they were like everybody was just quiet. And that takes a couple of games of like, okay, we're getting the hang of things now. But this was the one where I was like, my gosh, like this is only I mean only it was 27,236 or 56. But that crushed any November record. And that was what kind of what Coach Eck was like challenging the Lobo Nation to the numbers that he would like to see. And they came through and they were loud. They really affected the game. The fans, you guys affected the game. So congratulations and keep showing up. That environment was awesome. And to be honest, I think the last time I even went on here, I was like, if people want Coach Eck to stay, like they got to show up to the games. Like if that was because Bronco Mendenhall's revenge game, it was like 20,000. My God, if like this group of fans was at that game, man, it would have been something to behold.
It's
But fans, the fans really came through today, and I hope that they see that like this is a taste of the way things can be, like having traditions, having fun, having a good time, supporting the team. And as far as the Lobos, as far as like personnel and stuff, it's how I feel about the Broncos. It's just like you can't, and well, honestly, just like a lot of good teams as well. Like you can't math games. You can't say,
Yeah.
"Oh yeah, we beat this team by 5 points. We beat this team by 30 points, so we're going to be better." It's like that just doesn't work. It's a matter of preparation. The
Right.
good teams, when they're having a bad day, will find a way to win, and the Lobos found a way to win. Their offense did just about enough towards the end of the game to steal the victory. Like as much as it's just eating that clock and getting the turnover and downs and giving the CSU offense only 13 seconds to march like 40 plus yards. And it didn't work out. So good teams find a way to win. The Lobos did. And they're going to regroup. And Air Force, I wouldn't look at that record. Their offense is high flying.
Yeah.
A lot of those guys are in the top of the nation and a lot of offensive statistics. And they got a heck of a team and a heck of a coach. So it's not going to be a cakewalk.
Yeah. What I always like to say is the only stat that matters is the win and loss column, right? It's like
It really is.
when
Yeah.
when you win, did you win or you lose, right? It's like it's the basic thing. It's like, did you win? Like, yeah, sure, you had amazing stats and you lost. Like nobody cares. That's why people still idolize Michael Jordan forever, right? Because he won, and it's like, well, you can't really argue with that, right? So it is, and it's awesome. Like, and winning is so much fun, and like
Well, and then also,
there's
I'm sorry to interject here. You also have to have that it factor of just like being the dude, being the
yeah,
moment of like everybody was talking about MJ. Everybody's talking about Eck right now. It's like this is the cool thing, and this is where everybody wants to be. I posted a picture of him just running out along, with the team running out of the onto the field. Got like 1,200 likes and so many views, and because everyone's just like Coach Eck is the dude. Like everybody gets
Yeah.
behind him. And Bronco Mendenhall won was he when he was here last year. There was not as many fans as excited as that team last year when Bronco was turning it around as much as Eck turning it around because Eck is engaged with the community. Eck is involved with the community. He's kind of it right now, you know?
What it kind of like it's what's interesting about college football. Gotta check. Hold on, I gotta check my battery. Okay, we're good. Um, what's interesting about college football is that it's Tuscaloosa, Alabama. It's Athens, Georgia. These places that have college football meccas. Columbus, Ohio. Have you ever been to Columbus, Ohio?
I will never go.
There is
I'm
nothing.
just
There
kidding.
is
I'm just
literally
kidding.
there is
I'm just
quite literally nothing in Columbus, Ohio. Ann Arbor, Michigan. There's like they live in like Lubbock, Texas, right? They live and breathe that stuff because it's really the only thing there.
Yeah.
And it's like or like Tuscaloosa is a small city. Albuquerque is bigger than but actually probably most of these cities that I just mentioned, right? So, but like the way that like Nick Saban was able to build Alabama, and I'm sure then there's like they had a history, but it's in Tuscaloosa. It's not like, oh yeah, like they raked in a bunch of money. It's like no, he built that the way Jason Eck is building UNM, right? UNM can be like that on that same level. Maybe not to like the Alabama level. Alabama, that's like the greatest dynasty of all time, but it can be to that level because it doesn't the market size doesn't matter, right?
Well, and you brought up a good point where my brain just really connected the dots, and I'd love to share this, but LSU is a good example where like think about the recruiting scale because something that Eck has done over here and that he's going to continue to do while he's the UNM head coach is investing in the local talent, you know. He had a comment when they were playing NMSU. Tyler Martinez, a fantastic linebacker for the Aggies, played for Volcano Vista. And he had a couple of comments. Coach Eck mentioned that he doesn't know, oh, yeah, because Tyler Martinez from the NMSU team said that he never received an offer from UNM or any interest at all. And Coach Eck kind of, he said that that was like he's not sure why that didn't happen or that why he didn't get recruited by UNM, but he can guarantee that if he was he was the head coach, they would have offered him because he's a phenomenal player, And I think that goes back to investing in your state. And to get back to LSU, if you're a football player in Louisiana, your dream is to go play for LSU someday.
Yeah,
So for Louisiana, all the recruits that come in state, they're going to hold LSU with a high favor with the recruits that come out of New Mexico, you think about the big ones in recent years. Moses Sparks right now is the top recruited guy this year. He's going to play at Utah. Henry Haddis, a few years ago, a four-star prospect, another offensive lineman from Cleveland,
right.
went to Stanford. Colton McKibben from Carlsbad, he hasn't committed to a place yet. It is yet to be seen. Some of the other top prospects I can think about, Mason Posa, Cam Dyer, all play all went to play at different schools, ASU, Wisconsin, respectively. And I think, Eck, what he's doing here is kind of making it like when you're a high school kid, a high school football player, you're dreaming of playing for your hometown team.
Right.
And that's going to mean something playing for the Lobos. So, I mean, this will take a while for it to see if it's true or not, but I would love to see in the next 5 or 10 years the top recruits, what schools they go to, because I think with the kind of Eck philosophy that he's putting on and the way that he's going to tackle scouting, I believe that more New Mexico, the highest rated guys, will more of them will commit to UNM than in past years and past decades because of the emphasis that he'll put on local kids.
Right. Because that you meant that brings up made me think of another thing too. Because like with Diego Pavia, that was one of
Yeah,
the things I think he said it in an interview with the great TikToker uh,
Jake Paul.
Johnny James. Yeah, it was on his podcast, and he was talking, and he was like, yeah, I was like, and it like he wasn't against UNM as like the fans or like the city. It was like he like the coaching staff didn't recruit him, and he kind
Yeah.
of felt like slighted. So he was like, "Yeah, I'm going to go to NMSU," and and we see where he is now. He's like maybe a Heisman hopeful right now, and he probably fallen out of the Heisman race at this point, but
Hey,
still,
what he's accomplished is amazing. I mean, he's one of the
it's
most talked about college football players, and
yeah.
him and Eli Stowers, who also came from NMSU, they're going to be in the NFL discussions, especially Eli Stowers, who's going to be a hot
Sliced
name.
out. He looks really. He's a that tight end from
Yeah.
Vandy. Yeah, he's a good.
Yeah. Well, then the other thing too, right? Like we talk about the pride of kids in Louisiana, high school recruits want to play for the LSU Tigers. That's what they dream of. The other factor of that as well is like you have that extra pride in like playing for your state. That's the advantage that UNM is going to have over the years too, is because they're going to have a lot of guys who they didn't get a lot of recognition because they didn't go to California or any Californian school or Texas school or Florida school. But they're going to take that much pride. They're going to fight that extra harder because it's their home state, because it's New Mexico. And that is another secret weapon of kind of recruiting local. So, no, I think Coach Eck has just been absolutely phenomenal here. Obviously, I mean, securing the first winning record since 2016, beating Colorado State since the first time since 2009. They previously had like a 13 game losing streak to Colorado State. That ended. So again, it's just another week of just hearing about all the things that have been broken. I don't know the one for the home record, but this one needs to be an emphasis more. The Lobos are 5-0 at home this year. And I believe that our communications guy, I can't confirm it, but I believe he was saying that the last time that might have happened was in the 60s. Um, so that's a big deal. And San Diego State is coming up, and it would be great to see if it's great. It's awesome seeing the crowd like when it's filled like this. I mean, I'm telling you, today the energy was fantastic.
Yeah, it's cool, and the thing that is helps too is football makes a lot more money than and like where you see football schools like rake the ones that are really good rake in the dough, right? And that's how your basketball program gets better, your baseball program gets better, um shout out to the cross country. They just swept the Mountain West.
Yeah.
Um Haptem Samuel is a dog. Anyway, but it helps everybody. It
Yeah.
helps the academics. It helps. It is a cash cow. So the fact that we are getting this much better, and it's just, you can you tell I'm like kind of like I'm like manic. I'm so happy right now. It's
No,
like
yeah. Well, it's again, I mean, as somebody who's just this is my first year fully covering the Lobos. I mean, just how blessed am I where this is like the first year. I mean, we have this guy in here. He does great work for the Pit Press. And I was like, dude, this is my first year and the Lobos are this good. And he was like, there were decades where,
we were,
they were good. And you kind of have to report on that and stuff. So how blessed am I, that, but I think even as somebody, as long as I cover the Lobos, even when they're not doing good, like that's kind of the thing for the fans to still step up and to still support and still, doing what they can. Because I like another cool thing is just the vibe. I mean, you got your military helmet on. I saw like
I
people
know,
wearing like, the luchador masks and
I know it's
like
so
it was
cool.
kind of I was like getting in my head. I'm like, this is kind of like the black hole of the Raiders where everybody's like dressing up in costume. But I'm telling you, the next thing this fan base and this football program need is like those fan traditions at home. You got your Mr. Brightside at the big house in Michigan. You have Dorito Sandstorm for South Carolina. People have got their traditions. You got the Juicy Wiggle at Iowa State. Like UNM needs some of those traditions, and then there's some really cool stuff that is happening that I'm seeing. I'm hoping the shirtless one becomes a thing. I really want to see that keep going. I mean, there's some real juice behind that.
That was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
what you said about the black hole. My brother is a big Raiders fan, and he always like
Okay.
I know,
I'm
I
just
know,
kidding.
right? He's numb to his suffering. He just likes the pain. Um, he always like tells me, you should be like a Raiders fan, blah blah blah. he's like, you were being like a Raiders fan. You dressed up, and I was like, yeah, but it has a Lobos thing on there, and I'm a Patriots fan. So, but that is actually really funny that you bring that up because we do have like that like kind of like that Raiders culture where it's like that when they were winning, it was awesome.
Really?
It
No, it's
was
kind of again connecting the dots again, but yeah, we really kind of do have a little bit of uh, cross things that are shared with Raiders fans, and it's kind of cool to embrace that. Like that kind of makes it a total vibe. Like it would be so cool for it to be like, oh, I want to go, yeah, I'm gonna just I want to go visit like just high school football. I mean, I'm sorry, I want to go visit like college football stadiums and just like sit in the game and embrace the culture. Yeah, I got the Lobos one marked down. I want to go to University Stadium and just
right.
get that experience, and like just witness the UNM fans. The Hellraisers, man, the student section, they were awesome today.
Fun.
They were they were great. They made so much noise. They made me laugh. The cops were ready, they were lining up there. I think they were worried that maybe people would storm the field, but um yeah, gosh, that San Diego State game is going to be awesome.
Huge. I have
Yeah.
another funny story from that Nevada game. So I'm like I was sitting like real close. I was sitting close to the like a section away from the student section, but I could hear them, and I was also standing up so I could like kind of see over there, and they were like pestering the manager from the Nevada um PT lady. They were like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, can we get some Skittles? Can we get some Skittles?" And she would like look over at him and like shake her head. And then like there was like a couple more times she's like they're like, can we just get some water? And then she like after like a couple times, she like looks over, she grabs like a couple of little Gatorade cups and carries them over. And they're like, thank you, let's go. And after the game, they were like, yo, you should transfer to UNM. She's like you could obviously tell she was like, this was funny, but like she had the like grimace of like, oh, this is like it's like hilarious, but like in a kind of embarrassing way, kind of like your dad being funny. It's like, yeah, it's funny, but it's also my dad. It's like, ugh.
Yeah, yeah. No, it was. I'm telling you, we got some, like Coach Eck mentioned it last week too, where the fans that do come out, they are diehards, and I would say that the ones that came out today are pretty diehard. That was a great group that right there. So yeah, great,
One of them
more
was.
memories coming, and as far as talking the X's and O's, man, I think the edge rush duo of like Keyshawn James Newby, Brett Carr, who I mean today they had each a piece had a sack, had a tackle for loss. Keyshawn James Newby had a couple tackles for losses. Like this pass rush is for real. The defense is for real. Austin Brawley is probably going to be like he'd win the mayor election right now if they let him run. So
Um, there was also something I wanted to mention. Unfortunately, I was like, this is kind of sad because UNM is losing right now to NMSU. I was that's why I was
yeah,
looking down and trying to check the score. And because I'm not sure how United did, but I was telling people I after the game I was like, guys, this could be like the greatest moment in like New Mexico sports history. Like United wins the UNM football and then UNM basketball winning. That would be electric. But that doesn't look like it's gonna come to pass. But that would have been cool. Like it is because like I know like I haven't really followed New Mexico United, but I've seen that they're in the playoffs for
yeah,
I'm not they're not MLS, they're like a tier below MLS, right?
yeah. They're not MLS
Yeah,
level. Yeah,
I was like, but still, like they like the fans who go to the isotopes and those games are diehards and they love it.
yeah,
And they will back up ACC for eternity. I know because I have to drive on ACC to get to work. And it's sometimes like today, I was trying to get to the game and I couldn't turn left. I'm coming south on University. I had to go all the way down to Gibson because I couldn't turn left to to get home
yeah.
because like it was just it's awesome. And you know what, that's great. You know why? Because that means people are going. And that helps everybody. That really and it helps I think even if you think about New Mexico as a culture or as like right now like the turmoil and the political and economic state of the world, right? People need the sports. People need like there's a lot of things that New Mexico struggles with. Like we have a homelessness problem. We have like things that are very sad. People talk about, oh yeah, it's like Breaking Bad, like just in real life. And it's like, but having football, having basketball, people going to those things and enjoying it helps. And then it's like, oh, they want to stay. It's because we're a beautiful state and we're an amazing state, and I absolutely love it. But I think that I think we covered all of our bases. If there's anything else you want to say, fire away.
Oh yeah, no. Well, I mean, it's a I know looking at the record, people will say Air Force is supposed to be a pancake game. That's a great team. That's a great offense. I think if anything we've learned here in the Mountain West is that every team can kind of duke it out with anybody. I mean, Nevada Wolfpack, they just crushed San Jose State 55 to something. And
55
this
ten.
is the team, San Jose, yeah, San Jose State is the one that UNM lost to. So it's like you can't map the thing out every week. It's just a matter of preparation and executing. So it's not going to be a gimme. Air Force, it'll be a tough game, and we'll see how them can respond to this, especially the offense. I think they'll respond well. They have a lot of good leaders on that team, and of course, obviously a lot of great coaching. So, and then closing out the season against San Diego State, that'll be the last home game of the season. And then a week ago, I was like, I don't know, if we'll get 25,000 fans. Like I know X challenged them. I don't know if we'll get it. Like I think we're going to have a lot of people at that San Diego State game, and I think whatever the record is for well, actually, no, the new record was set by this game. I
Right.
think it might even crush that record because there's going to be a lot at stake.
Yeah,
And
there's at stake, and it's because like I don't think we quite control our own destiny when it comes to the Mountain West Championship.
yeah, well, there's a very important game going on. That's why I was looking up a little bit. The first half of the overtime period just ended still. Not a winner has been decided, and this is Utah State and I'm sorry, not Boise State, UNLV. And the Lobos need Bronco Mendenhall's help. Uh,
It's ironic,
It's kind of funny to say, if Utah State wins today, that's really going to help the Lobos. So yeah, go Bronco Mendenhall, right?
right? Yeah.
That's how we get. No, no, just I'm
Kind of
just
turn back the.
um,
It's like a year ago, right?
yeah,
Just turn back
geez,
the clock.
yeah, not too bad, for it's just nice to see kind of Eck really showing all the potential. I know that there's still fans out there. I know in the next couple days, that's how we'll close this out. There's a lot of fans who are going to say that, oh, Eck's going to leave, whatever. Even if he does, he's already shown the world what we can be if somebody just invests in this position. So what I'm saying is head coaches will desire this position.
Yeah, I for me personally, I don't think he's gonna. I
He's
think
not going to.
I don't think he's gonna. I think he's like, you know what? I'm gonna build this program and we're gonna be really good because what are like it's kind of like I think one last thing because I will ramble for days. Um, that's why it's called that's why I put rant in my name. Um, kind of like Indiana. Kurt Signetti. They're 11-0 for the first time in program history. People are like, oh,
Yeah.
he's gonna take the Penn State job. No, why? They're ranked, I think, number 2 or number 3 in the country. Why on earth should he leave? He has everything he needs. And he has like why go to Penn State? Why go to a better program, right? Because
Yeah.
he has already built something like there. That's really my thought. And
Last
that's my yeah.
Last thing for you, let me tell you, when Eck does stay, you have got to do the Wolf of Wall Street thing where he's like, I'm not fucking leaving. You got to put X face on there and say,
Would actually
this is,
that would be
you have got to do that. Okay.
that's a good idea. That is Thank you, Danny. That was perfect. That's
Welcome.
perfect.
You're
I
welcome.
got to put that in my notes. That is awesome.
Do
Don't
it.
say
Yep.
that
Well,
Barstool UNM, but yeah, that it was great. It was great to have you on, man. Every time you're in my videos, they do like 100 times better.
oh, sweet. No, love to hear it. So, yeah, you should cut up something like a little tiny thing of the shirtless mentions or the shirtless origin, and definitely tag me in it, and like a little 15-second, 20 seconds, so I can throw it on my story or something like that.
Dope. Awesome, man. See ya.
Perfect, man. All right, cool. See you later.